sacrificed so much, so many years.
Blah, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Aha! Just kidding. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Ching! And by the way, guys, I just published a book out on Amazon. It's called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about my mom, an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to five adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture while being Jewish. And today we have a very special guest. He is one of the OGs from powerslap. And I love this guy because, he's been in the game longer than most of these cats. He is one of the biggest fighters. Azael. Woo!
Woo! Appreciate you, bro. Nice being here.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's an honor, brother. You don't understand. I do want to share to the fans a little story about us. So I'm gonna be honest, right? I've never like met Azael. Like I've only seen the TV show, from season one. And then when I saw that you follow me, I was so shocked, right? I was like, whoa, this guy, he's big, he got a lot of followers. And I'm like, man, he followed me. I don't know what to say, what to do. So I follow back. You know what I'm saying? And then the crazy thing is, for the first time, we actually met in Vegas for Power Slap 12 that week. There was like an after party they had for like Slap News. They were hosting it, and I'm gonna be honest, it was cool meeting a lot of these like Power Slap fighters, some of the promoters. But there was some moments it was awkward. Like I had nothing to share, right? I kind of ran out of stories what to say, and I see brother Azael next to me, and he just starts a conversation, and it was so cool because I'm be honest, I felt like you made me feel part of the group, like part of Power Slap. Even though I don't fight for the team, but you made me feel like, hey, bro, it's okay. And then we saw each other again at Power Slap 12 on Friday, right? At Fountain Blue. After the whole fight, and you introduced me to your family. I think it was your family and friends were there with you,
Yeah.
and it was nice because other people that are celebrities, they'll be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing, man? Take care," and just walk away. You know what I'm saying? But you were really nice to be, talk to me for a little bit and then say, "Hey, I'm here with my family." Say hi. I'm like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" So that was really nice. That was my first impression meeting you in real life. I gotta say, man, you're very humble a guy, and I love that. What about you? What was your first impression when we met?
Bro, I mean, it's weird to hear that because honestly, I'm a firm believer that I'm a introvert. So sometimes I gotta get out of my bubble and just kind of conversate. So to hear that you kind of got that impression from me, just kind of like opens up my eyes that I'm not as introverted as I thought I was. But no, man, yeah, when I approached you, you were also very welcoming. So I think that helped out with me being able to just conversate and just kind of flow in with it. And I don't know, just it seemed like you were there to kind of do your thing and meet people. So I was like, okay, I gotta like just be that person to be able to like conversate. I don't know. I've done strength characteristics tests before for my employers and stuff, and I think one of the biggest ones that pops out is includer. So I don't know if that's part of me that all my life I've always been an includer. Every time I see people, I just want to include people left and right. So I think that was a big part of my includer characteristic that popped out. But man, it was great meeting you. You're super nice and super welcoming to talk to. So I appreciate you. And when I followed you, I followed you because I saw the way I started following you was just I would see you doing a lot of stuff with some of the power slap strikers. Whenever they were out in Vegas, and I was like, hey, like this guy's actually putting in some light into some of us power slappers. So and I saw that you're Latino too, so I was like, I always try to um, support the Latino community. I support anyone that supports Power Slap. I just support them 100%. So I was like, maybe one day we'll do something together. So I decided to follow you, and I try to keep up as much as possible with the people that I follow. So if I ever miss your things, don't take it personal. I always try to like comment, like, and just look at your stuff, not just comment and like and just skip it. So. Uh, yeah, man. I'm glad I finally got to meet you in person though.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. Much love, much love. So look, man, I want you to share right tonight. It's about you. If you could share to the fans, a little bit about your background, you being Latino, where your family from and where were you born and raised, and basically how you got into Power Slap with your journey.
Yeah, so I'm Mexican American. I was born in San Diego, grew up in South San Diego, so right by the border, literally like from outside of my house, you step out and you can see the other side, TJ. You could literally see the whole city of Tijuana. So that was super cool to be able to grow up with other Mexicans that were coming into the United States, trying to better their education. So I grew up in my since elementary school. I had kids from Tijuana, trying to learn the language, trying to just benefit from our country. So um, yeah, that's pretty much how I grew up. Um, I have a twin brother, so I also grew up with him. So that was pretty cool. Being in this community in the South, we grew up with a diverse group of people. So it wasn't just Mexicans. It was you had your African Americans, your Asians, your Filipinos, everyone. So everyone just like wanted to like solidify themselves as a dominant fucking person. So it was definitely a roller coaster and great experience being able to grow up with everyone just left and right. You had like fights and left and right. You had like learning opportunities to be able to kind of adapt to those people and just become their friends, become their associates. So I'm pretty grateful to be able to grow up in South San Diego. And then as far as Power Slap, ever since I was a kid, I knew like I kind of had this feeling, or I always wanted to do something um, as far as sports. When I was a kid, it was always baseball or boxing. I grew up I did like 13 years of baseball, so I always thought my route was gonna be professional baseball, but that didn't end up going the route that I wanted. So I always wanted to become a boxer, and I knew I had it in me, but ever since I graduated from high school, I went straight to college, and just the whole college experience kind of got to me, partying and just kind of being into my academics. So I kind of like just lost track of being able to like organize myself and prioritize things. Like, I don't know, just maybe it was the lack of education that I had and being in higher education just like kind of didn't blend in together right away. So, um, my boxing kind of like went away for a bit. I was still boxing here and there, but never competitively. So fast forward, I finally I graduate from the university and I become a counselor. I did all that for like 5 years, and my wife my wife gets accepted to veterinarian school, so she's got accepted outside of the country. So that was my opportunity to kind of set aside everything that I had in my life to kind of follow her and support her, and then being able to kind of prioritize finally my things. So we both move out to out of the country, and I'm out of work. I'm just there, kind of being a house husband, supporting her through her school, being the one to like kind of transport her to her school, cooking, cleaning, and all that stuff. But at the same time, now I'm able to kind of fully work out and train and kind of like focus my mind on just what I want to do. In this case, it was boxing, but Dana White posts a video on his TikTok. I think he was pretty active on TikTok back then. It was back in 2022. And I was just, I think it was in between my sets. I was like going through my TikTok and he just happens to post a video about Power Slap, his like the first organization that he's gonna like start of Power Slap. And I was like, what is this? I never really looked, I saw Power Slap. I never really thought of myself as becoming a slapper. I knew I had the power and I knew I had the chin, but slapping was just something that I didn't know if I had it or not, especially with like I knew there was going to be rules. I knew that there was going to be things that I had to follow in order for me to kind of not be a dirty slapper, if you want to say. But so I decided to apply. And 2 weeks later, I got a call from one of the producers from Power Slap and said, "Hey, Dana White and the team we're interested in you, and we want to bring you out to Vegas and see what you got." Um, so that was just like something that just came into my life as quick as I don't know. It was just the quickest thing. I was not expecting it. One of the things that stood out though from that call was even though you win your matches when you come down here, you gotta impress Dana White in the biggest way, not just getting a knockout, not just being out here becoming a good slapper. You gotta kind of show them you got that character. They want to see characters to be able to be a part of their organization. So that was something that I had to kind of like think about for those. I think I had like 2 months to prepare, and I was just like thinking about like what they meant by that. So that was also a journey to be able to kind of learn what I needed to do in order for me to kind of stand out because I there was a lot of slappers out there that were trying out, and only a few of us got selected. So yeah, I just got flown out to Vegas and did my thing and became and got accepted into the house, the Power Slap house. But I got accepted into the house as an alternate, so that meant you weren't there completely, you weren't in all the way, you came in slightly, so you still had to prove yourself. So that was also a thing that I had to like overcome. So I don't know, all my life I have to like kind of adapt. I think that's the biggest thing in my life. Adaptability is just something that I've been just kind of working on throughout my whole life.
No, brother, that's dope. I want to ask you a quick question. What country did you move in with your wife?
We moved to Grenada. It's in the Caribbean. Yeah, so there's a school out there, medical and veterinary school. So she got accepted into a vet school out there, and yeah, she's still doing her thing. She's about to be done, so we're excited for that.
Whoa, so you're still there, right?
I moved back. I was there for like 2 years. I decided to move back last year, just because of the whole power slap happening. I kind of just felt kind of like I was just kind of isolated over there. I was not I needed to kind of upgrade everything that I was doing. Now that I was already finally in, I needed to do something bigger for myself. I need to make it that sacrifice to leave my wife and not leave her like in the sense of like we're not together. Just kind of say, hey, I'm gonna have to take my route back to the States and kind of work with trainers, kind of work on my health or my nutrition because food over there is super expensive. And since I wasn't working and I was just relying on Power Slap funds, I didn't want to just be spending all my money that I was making in Power Slap. So I was like, hey, we need to make some changes. And so I came about a year ago. I'm about to come back. I'm about to go back. It's about to be a year, and I'm about to go back and kind of now that I've already done the things that I needed to do, it's time. It's kind of time to go back. And then December she finishes completely over there, and we move down to Colorado now. So we're all over the place right now.
Wow, brother. No, that's good. She's a fighter. For her
For
to
sure.
support your dream and you support her, I could see that's a real you guys both have the love for sacrifice, which is amazing. I think
For sure.
it's rare to see that, right? I want to share this with you, brother, if I can. I'll get back into your wife because I have a great story for that part. Actually, I'll share it right now because then I'll dive into your name. So crazy thing is a famous story, one of my favorite stories. In during the It's like during the Crusades, which is a very sad time when all the religions were fighting against each other. Really a tough time. But there was a man named Akiva, and he was a 40-year-old man who never went to school. He never basically had an education, and everybody in the town said he was lazy, he was homeless. They always put him down, okay? And then there was this woman who was a princess who basically she had dreams about him that she was gonna marry him, and she don't know why she kept having that dream, and it was so weird because she asked her father, who was a king, yo pops, father, king, my lord, I have a dream with this man that he's gonna be my husband. I don't know why, but I'm meant to marry him. And the king, her father, said, if you marry him, my kingdom, my power, my money is gone from you because he's not worthy. He's not worth, your time. She took a leap of faith because she kept having the same dreams and basically left left her father, basically disowned her father in a way, got moved with this man, got married to him, okay? Not knowing the struggles, the expectations. They become so poor, it says in the story, and this is a real life story. They became so poor, Akiva and his wife, that they had to cut their hair just to sell to get a loaf of bread. That's how poor they were. And it's crazy because Akiva, he basically told her, like, I have a dream that one day I want to get you a nice gold necklace that says Jerusalem. And his wife said, you're funny. We're poor. You gotta say, we ain't never gonna get it. You gotta say. And crazy enough, his wife told him that there's a school happening at those old days. They call them yeshivas, which is like where you study Torah, the Bible, all day. But she's like, look, the best part, there's a program where if you go right now, they'll feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'll be fed. But not only that, you're getting a free education you never had, where you're learning about life, you're learning about God, even though you don't believe in God, but this is a good opportunity. And he's like, are you sure? Like, is this what you want from me? And she's like, yeah, I think it's better that you are able to eat, even though we won't be together. At least I know my man is okay. So he took her advice. He went to study for 7 years, brother. And he went to go surprise his wife, okay? He's so excited, he brought flowers, like a man trying to be romantic with their boo. And the neighbor says, Akiva, what you doing here, brother? Oh, I came to surprise my wife. He's like, man, she don't love you. He's like, no, she does. He's like, bro, I guarantee you she don't love you. Like, she probably just went there because I don't know why she married you, but something happened. So Akiva said, look, I'm going to prove it to you that she still loves me. Instead of going to surprise his wife, he actually went back to school for another 7 years. So in total, it's been like 14 years. He comes back and everyone's shocked that, hey, we got this special guest. He's coming. Everybody get ready. The whole community is ready to receive him. He's like a big leader. And some of the people, the audience, were looking at this woman and said, hey, you got to change your outfit. You look dirty. You look like a homeless person. The this person that's coming, he doesn't want to see you this way. You gotta look the part. Look, and you're not gonna believe the guy who was in the podium, the leader that everyone was waiting. He said, hey guys, step away, let this woman pass by, come up in the front. That's my wife. And she comes up and sits next to him, and he says, I want to be honest, thank you guys for coming, but this woman right here, my wife, is the reason why I am the man I am today. She believed in something in me which I never thought was possible. At the age of 40, I learned Hebrew. I never learned another language. And because of her, I learned, I study. Now I'm a big rabbi. But thanks to her, she did this for me. At the one of the last part of his speech, he told his wife to close her eyes, and he gave her the gold necklace that he promised that said Jerusalem. It's a beautiful story, one of my favorite stories, and it reminded me of your marriage. How even though you guys are not together, right, like physically in the same house, she's believing in your dream. You're doing the same for her, and now you're about to come back, right? Kind of like you went to go study, and
For
now
sure.
you're about to build this beautiful family. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it, brother. So it's a beautiful thing.
It's a really good story, by the way. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I had to spill the
Yeah.
beans. What did you
That was
think about the
insane.
story? Right, by the way, well, I want to hear your thought real quick. What you thought about the story that I shared?
No, man, yeah, just being just sacrifices that sometimes kind of partners have to make for each other. I think it's like super important. It just goes to show that a relationship or a partnership of people just isn't just kisses and whatever hugs, and it's about those sacrifices in order for both of you to be able to build an empire. And if maybe you have to sacrifice separating each other for one person to be able to build that empire, I don't know. I think that was a great, just a story to be able to kind of, hopefully inspire people too. Like hopefully a lot more people get to hear this story and just kind of get influence in the type of relationships that they should be getting in because yeah, this Akiba guy just had to sacrifice so much, so many years, and I've only sacrificed I want to say less than a year because I go often over there and during break she comes out here, but just sometimes you don't get those opportunities, and I don't know, it just strengthens everything that you have going on with each other. So yeah, I like the story a lot. I never had heard it, so thank you for sharing it.
Of course, brother. He actually has a book, so you got to check his books. It's real deep. It's deep stuff. It gets in more in detail, like what they went through. But I definitely highly recommend. He's my favorite person to study. He's like one of my favorites. And I appreciate you liking it. So I want to share something with you, right? I told you this a little bit before the show. I actually looked up your name, right? And I love that your name is very unique, okay? I've never met anyone with your name in real life. Maybe in like in movies, but in TV shows, but not in like, face to face. What's crazy is that your name actually is an angel. Which is fascinating is that there's a story I have to share with this. There's a story where in Genesis, right before the flood, Azael and this other angel named Shahai, something like that, they basically made a deal with God. They said to God, let us come down in earth and basically show you that we're better than humans, basically. And I love this, something that the Midrash explains. Midrash is like a different way of looking at the Bible. It says that God responding to them, if you live on earth as they and saw the beauty of women, you would be no better. Oof, this is so hard. So these two angels, they came down and they got into with these women, and like God already said, you're not as better as humans, and they fell for temptation, got corrupted, became idol worshippers, and created kids. Now, here's a really cool thing. This is a really cool where a lot of movies get this from. Their kids are actually called Nephilims, meaning fallen angels. What's wild about this is that they become giants out of the whole town. They're giants, enormous. The wild part is when God wants to destroy the earth with the flood, You know the story of Noah, how he has to build an ark, bring all the animals. There's actually one Nephilim giant that did not die in the flood. And this is going to shock you, who's actually descendants technically of Azael from his bloodline. There's one that actually God allows him to stay alive. And you're going to be shocked. The name, you ready? The name is Og. 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 That's how you spell it. OG. And remember how I said you're the OG of Power Slap? Cool thing is Noah, it says that Og actually stayed on the roof. And Noah didn't know that until they landed. Crazy enough, Og actually stayed all the way till the generation of Abraham. We're talking like maybe, I think, almost over 100 years later. So he lived a long life. And he also lived all the way till the times of Moses. So we're talking another 400 years later. And it's amazing how, he survived so long. Crazy enough, this is my theory. I don't know if it's wrong, but this is a theory I came up with. When David fought Goliath, technically Goliath is the last giant in the universe of the Bible, the last living giant. And everybody said, "Oh, we're too scared. We can't fight. He's too big." Even King Saul was like, "Nah, I can't." And he gave little David this armor and helmet and the big old sword, like, "Hey, you gotta take him out." And David's like, "Yo, this thing's too heavy. I don't need this. I just need a slingshot." And he goes, fights Goliath, throws a slingshot, boom, knocks him out, and he kills the last giant, which is just crazy. He defeats him, but because he defeats the giant Goliath, he also becomes the new king, which is wild. So it's amazing because he's a little guy, but I just wanted to share that story because it's like something interesting and it's wild and it's like it's very moving and it has a lot of messages where we can be distracted by the things around us. Our cell phone. It could be. Sometimes it could be if some people have, I guess, their weakness could be drugs. It could be women. It could be gambling. Right? We don't know what are everyone's, I guess, deepest fear or deepest struggles, but we're all trying to find that special light in us to keep us moving forward. So that's the story I wanted to share. Brother, if you could share a little bit too, what do you think about that little story I shared?
Well, just wanted to comment on that last part you just said about just being able to find the light and just I don't know. Yeah, I don't struggle with addiction, but I know I have a big addictive personality. Whereas if something's there, I want to do it. But yesterday, for example, I was kind of I had in mind. I don't drink as often as I used to. Before it was like every Friday. I was always looking forward to having a drink. So yesterday, I was just like, for some reason, part of me just wanted to go out and just have a beer and just kind of reminding myself what I have coming forth for me and just I don't know, just being able to fight that and just I said no. And then I had a bowl of marijuana right here on the side and I wanted to smoke it and I had told myself don't smoke for a while. Like it's been like 3 weeks now and it's just like we don't need it. Let's completely just work on ourselves and I don't know, just all this kind of like brought that, especially the way you kind of brought it all together at the end. Um, it's crazy how coincidentally I was kind of dealing with that yesterday.
Wow, brother. I got something. I got one more thing to share. That's beautiful what you said. I'm gonna share you one more thing because I know Zoom's about to kick me out. But one last thing I want to share is, and you're gonna love this. So when Noah made it to the land after the flood, it said that he made a pact with the devil. That's what the Midrash says. It says he made a pact, and Satan was like, "Let's make something together, a cool invention." And it was wine. So they got the vineyard, they put it together, and they put first a lamb, a monkey, a lion, and a pig. And so the message of this story, right? In the end, Noah did get drunk, but the message of this story is that it says if you have one cup of wine, you act like a lamb. You're calm. You relax. You drink two cups, you feel like a monkey. You want to dance with everybody, show off your moves. When you're a lion, you're the king of the world. You feel like no one can touch you. I could fight anybody. But then you forget who God is, right? Because God is the Almighty. The last one, you act like a pig. The last cup, you throw up, you eat what you throw up, and you forget what happens the next day. And think about it. When you go to the store, what's it called? Wine and spirits. That's where it came from. Wine and spirits. So now that you have this information, just remember when you're out in the public, at a bar, at a party, you have to remember, do I want to be like Noah, right? And get drunk, forgot what I did, or and now when you see everybody around you, you can say, dang, that's a lamb right there. That's a lion. That's a monkey. That's a pig. Now you can, when you're more observant your surrounding, when you do that, you're gonna see how by not drinking, you stand out from the rest of the group because now nothing can distract you from the light. So I just wanted to share that. This is like a deep philosophy.
You're going deep, bro. You're going super deep, and I've had never heard that or kind of thought about it that way. And I don't that's like some deep kind of like understanding of things whenever drinking. So definitely that's something that I'm gonna be for sure keeping it in my head and in my heart whenever I go out.
I got you, brother. I got you, hermano. So look. I wanna now. I gotta. Zoom is about to kick me out in 3 minutes, so I
Oh
gotta.
shit.
Let me just say this, brother. It's an honor to have you. It was so much fun. I wish I could talk more. I will definitely have you back. Guys, this is the Outlet to Reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching! Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat's Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And brother, where can my fans find you?
Everyone could just find me on Instagram, Azael El Perro Rodriguez, just my name, El Perro Rodriguez. You could find me on Instagram, TikTok, and X. So Instagram is my biggest platform. So follow me if you want to follow the journey. And David, I really appreciate you. I kind of am I'm interested in that book that you had in the beginning said about that you had written about your mother's experience and stuff. Shoot me a message where I can get that book so I can get my hands on it.
Oh, brother, it's an honor. If you get it, when I see you again, I will sign your book.
For sure.
This is a big deal. You're gonna like it because a lot of the stories I share, like right now today, I share it in the book. Like what I went through, the struggles, and like I'll have like a little, maybe a quote from the Bible or a story that relates to what I'm going through, and it's a nice way to kind of let people to feel related somehow, or connected. So I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna send it to you. You're gonna like it,
For
brother.
sure.